Hello, I'm Rainer. Today, I'm introducing the K2 MiniRail short rail system. The MiniRail system is suitable for trapezoidal sheet roofs from 5 to 75 degrees and has been successfully in use since 2012. We have a flat MiniRail with a height of 30 mm and a higher version with 60 mm. The MiniRail is attached to the trapezoidal sheet with building authority approved thin sheet screws. The 4 screws are included with each MiniRail. The MiniRail itself is 38.5 centimeters long. It has pre-drilled holes on both sides and thus works for a high seam distance of 10.1 to 35 centimeters, making it universally applicable for all common high seam distances like 200, 250 or 333 millimeters. The width of the high crest must not be less than 22 millimeters. With our free planning tool K2 Base, you can quickly, safely and accurately plan your projects. In just 5 steps, you determine the optimal layout of your K2 MiniRail system and configure your PV project. In the assembly plans from K2 Base, you will find all the important information for placing the MiniRails and assembling the individual module blocks. Our universal module clamps are used in the MiniRail system. The clamps are suitable for all common module frame heights. All our clamps are available in silver and of course in black. Now we will show you how to mount the MiniRail with vertical module orientation or portrait orientation. MiniRail distances are determined by module manufacturers' clamping area specifications. When placing the clamps, make sure that the module clamp sits between the drilling screws. The modules are clamped on the long side in the vertical orientation. If you want to mount your modules horizontally, you need to clamp the modules on the short side. Please check the installation manual of the module manufacturer or ask them for individual project approval for your project. In addition to our MiniRail MK2 system, we have a very practical additional component. The Mini5 5-degree mounting system, consisting of the Mini5 MK2 front and the Mini5 MK2 end. Unfortunately, the MiniRail 60 cannot be used for this. The Mini5 provides an additional 5-degree elevation besides the roof pitch. This greatly boosts performance with better ventilation and an optimized angle of incidence. When you are installing the Mini5, make sure that the clamp sits centrally on the Mini5 and ensure that the Mini5 is positioned between the drilling screws. It MK2 base calculates the distances between the individual mini rails in the vertical direction and of course outputs these in the assembly plan. To prevent shading of the modules, certain guidelines must be followed during installation. Since the Mini 5s are now floating and have the ability to expand to both the right and the left, we need to establish a fixation with our stop set approximately in the middle of the module block along the vertical axis in each rail row. The stop set consists of 2 hexagon socket screws and 2 MK2, which are mounted on the left and right next to the MK2 front and end. As an alternative to the MiniRail MK2, there is also the MiniRail 60. The rail profile here is 60 mm high and offers more space for the installation of optimizers and microinverters. Thus, it ensures better rear ventilation of the modules. The 2 rails are different only in terms of their height. The installation of the MiniRail 60 is of course identical to the MiniRail MK2. For the installation of power optimizers or microinverters, the K2 stair plate is the perfect solution for the MiniRail 60. The stair plate can also be used in the MiniRail Mark II. However, the high crest distance and height are crucial for this. The set consists of the K2 stair plate, the matching screw, and the matching washer and nut. With the stair plate, the devices are simply hooked into the mounting rail without having to be screwed directly onto the roof. Our tip for this: save installation time on the roof and attach the devices in advance to the K2 stair plate. And now we'll show you how to do that. Distance to the trapezoidal sheet is still insufficient. The MiniRail Mark II with RailUp offers a roof parallel elevation. The set consists of the RailUp, a screw, and the matching MK2 nut. The RailUp allows for an additional elevation of the modules by about 60 mm with minimal material use, reaching a total height of about 90 mm. This achieves optimal module ventilation on the trapezoidal sheet roof. Additionally, the installation of power optimizers and microinverters becomes significantly easier. Please note that additional elevation with the MiniRail 60 is not possible. The rail set is mounted under each module clamp. It is important to ensure that the rail is placed centrally to the mini rail. Our TerraGrifs are used for potential equalization and grounding of the module frames. With the MiniRail system, choose between two TerraGrifs for grounding the module frames. The TerraGrif QL and the TerraGrif K2SZ are both mentioned. If you also make use of the Mini 5 for achieving a 5-degree elevation, you can establish potential equalization with the TerraGrif PL. That was the installation of our MiniRail system. Thank you for your interest and see you next time.